Well, everybody, let me check volume. Whoa, that's super low. All right, so we'll do Acts and then we'll do Daniel. We'll do Daniel will also be in the New Living. If you've been playing along, you know why, because it's Daniel 11. That's why. See previous videos. But as you have seen and heard, this man Paul has persuaded many people that the handmade gods aren't really gods at all. And he's done this not only here in Ephesus, but throughout the entire province. Of course, I'm not just talking about the loss of public respect for our business. I'm also concerned that the temple of the great goddess Artemis, also known as Diana, will lose its influence, and that Artemis, this magnificent goddess worshipped throughout the province of Asia and all around the world, will be robbed of her great prestige. At this, their anger boiled, and they began shouting, "Great is Artemis," or in the King James, "Great is Diana. Great is Diana of Ephesus," the great goddess Diana. When they heard these things, they were full of wrath and cried out, saying, "Great is Diana of the Ephesians." And the whole city was filled with confusion. I'll just stand the King James. And having caught Gaius and Aristarchus, Metamecedemia, Paul's companions in travel, they rushed with one accord into the theater. And when Paul would have entered unto the people, the disciples suffered him not, and a certain of the chief of Asia, which were his friends, sent unto him, desiring that he would not adventure himself into the theater. Some therefore cried one thing, and some another, for assembling was confused, and more part knew not wherefore they were come together. And they drew Alexander out of the multitude, and the Jews putting him forward, and Alexander beckoned with the hand that he would have made his defense unto the people. Goodness gracious, was that King James like, what? I'm pretty sure I understood what was going on. Let's just go ahead and finish it out in the New Living. Some of the officials of the province, friends of Paul, also sent a message to him, begging him not to risk his life by entering the amphitheater. Inside, the people were all shouting, some one thing and some another. Everything was in confusion. In fact, most of them didn't even know why they were there. The Jews in the crowd pushed Alexander forward and told him to explain the situation. He motioned for silence and tried to speak. Wow. What a difference between that and the King James. That's why we like to do the New Living in Paul's epistles or in Acts. In Romans, you don't really need it. In the Gospels, you don't really need it. In Revelation or Daniel, we don't really need it. Except this Daniel 11, King of the North, King of the South, that just makes it easier to understand. Again, I think switching back and forth kingdoms from antiquity, from the Greek Empire on, explained in previous videos last couple days. But eventually it does change power back and forth, back and forth, back and forth over time until you reach the Antichrist. He will take refuge in his own fortress, but will stumble and fall and be seen no more. His successor will send out a tax collector to maintain the royal splendor, and after a brief reign, he will die, though not from anger or in battle. The next to come to power will be a despicable man who is not in the line of royal succession. He will slip in when least expected and take over the kingdom by flattery and intrigue. Before him, great armies will be swept away, including the covenant prince. With deceitful promises, he will make various alliances. He will become strong despite having only a handful of followers. Without warning, he will enter the richest areas of the land. He will distribute among the followers the plunder and the wealth of rich, something his predecessors have never done. He will plot to overthrow the strongholds, but this will last for only a short while. Then he will stir up his courage and raise a great army against the king of the south. The king of the south will go to battle with him with a mighty army, but to no avail, for there will be plots against him. Go back and check volume one more time. All right, that's it. And glad you're here. Love you very much. Ask questions anytime. That's what I'm here for.